Hey there, we're Nigel and Sue and we're travelling Australia in our self-converted 4x4 Sprinter van. In this episode we visit Karijini National Park, which some say is their favourite in Australia. Famous for its red rock gorges and waterfalls, we had high expectations of Karijini. Will it live up to the hype? We visit 5 of the gorges and we'll show you the highlights, where we stayed, what we loved and what we didn't love. Good morning, friends! Today we're in Karijini National Park and this is our first full day here. We are going to go and check out Dale's Gorge today. There's a walk that you can do around the rim of the gorge and then down into the gorge. These are supposed to be some of the most beautiful parts of Karijini.
Well, for today's hike we are here and we're going to do this loop along the rim of the gorge, and then we'll go down into the gorge, follow along the gorge to Fortescue Falls, continue on, have a swim here at the Fern pool and make our way back. Let's do it.
We've just come to the first lookout at the top of the Fortescue Falls and Dale's Gorge, looking out over the gorge and down to the falls. It's so far away, but we're going to get much better views of it when we head down and walk along there.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Welcome to my new range in the Pilbara. Kind of a blacky reddish look, very natural.
They are just like tiles. The views from this top part of the gorge are just incredible, but we're really itching to get down and be amongst the water. We're at the bottom now of the gorge and we're just trying to find a shady spot so we can stop and have a snack. Nigel's getting hungry. It looks like Nigel's found the perfect place to sit and have a snack. The walk then got a whole lot more fun as we had to cross the river several times. Fortunately, someone had put stones out, which made it a whole lot easier. Who wants to hike with wet feet?
Yeah, beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's stunning, isn't it? Reeds, dragonflies, bees, wildflowers. Colours are incredible.
Well, we've made it to Fortescue Falls and the pool at the base.
The serenity
is non-existent. It's pretty crowded.
Yeah, bit of a zoo.
It is the last weekend of school holidays, so I guess that's part of it. But, yeah.
We've gone from a few hours of complete peace and serenity to school holidays. Woohoo!
So we left the crowded Fortescue Falls.
Crowded, phooey.
and came to the even more crowded Fern pool. We did have a little swim here, it was nice. But yeah, it's crowded. We actually came back to Fortescue Falls for a swim later in the afternoon when the crowds had thinned out.
This is the last part of the loop, the lake back up the stairs.
Arriving back at the car park, we saw a dingo. These wild dogs are endemic to Australia, and although they look like domestic dogs, they're definitely wild animals. They should never be approached or fed. So we had a great time at the gorge this morning. It was a little bit crowded. And we've come back to the van. We had a bit of a rest. We've made some pizza dough. So tonight we're going to have van pizza. So that's proving. We're having beer today.
Yeah, too right.
Well, I guess we have to with pizza, don't we? Let's do it. We are back at the van now in the campsite. We're having a quiet beer. Looks like Nigel's about to...
He's about to zap some bush flies and skitters.
Oh, you got the zapper there?
Yeah. Just in case. Cheers.
Cheers. Good morning, friends. We've spent a lovely 2 nights here in the Dales campground, which is the National Park campground. It's $11 per person per night, plus the $15 to get into the National Park per day, so $37, which is a little bit steep, but anyway, the sites are nice and spacious. Closest neighbours are a fair way away. There are toilets here, which are long drop toilets, no showers and no water. And now we're going to head off to check out some of the other parts of Karijini. And we're just about to go and have a look at the Joffre Gorge lookout, which is just a short walk from the car park. And then we're going to go down to the waterfall, which sounds like it's pretty challenging, the walk. So we're really looking forward to it. Apparently we need to kind of swim and wade through some of the water. So it sounds like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the waterfall is not running at the moment. It's obviously too dry, but we're on this steel platform and the views are just something else.
Just a trickle of water at the moment in the Joffre Falls.
I think it's quite fascinating how the water just meanders its way down through the countryside and then all of a sudden creates this incredible gorge. Like that gorge is like 100 metres deep or something, but To get down into the gorge, we climbed down a series of steel ladders. Then we had to wade through water, which got deeper and deeper. We then came to a narrow cleft in the rock where we had to spider climb down.
Until we get there. It's wicked.
We clambered along the cliff walls. Sometimes the ledges were just underwater, and eventually we got to a point where we had to swim. This was really challenging for me, as swimming in deep dark water is one of my big fears. Nigel actually said later he thought there was no way I would do it.
Cool, eh?
Nigel.
It's pretty cool. Fern brave.
I don't know because it's like dark water and very deep.
Yeah, it's dark and deep.
This is my big fear. But it was one of those times I thought I might only be here once, so I felt the fear and did it anyway.
Glasses in you.
Nigel was always there to lend me a helping hand, except for that one time when I pulled him into the water. Oops. After exploring the gorge for a few hundred metres, we returned the way we came and went to the bottom of the waterfall. It's like a natural amphitheatre, and even though there was only the slightest trickle, it was still quite humbling to stand surrounded by these red cliffs. Hey friends, so that was such an awesome day today at Joffre Gorge, even if we did always keep thinking about that horrible Joffre from Game of Thrones. So we're back in the van now. We're staying at a free camp tonight. Looks pretty cool. It's nice and quiet, except is that someone else is just arriving. And we're making a stir fry with tofu tonight. And so thanks to our follower Roberta, who suggested cooking the tofu first. So I'm going to do that tonight. The tofu is marinated. She said that makes it a bit more crispy, which I always like crispy. So tomorrow we're heading back into Karijini. So we're just outside of the park. We're heading back into the park tomorrow for some more gorges. And apparently they're just going to keep getting better, which is pretty exciting. So here's tonight's dinner. Get into it. The next day, we made our way first to Knox Gorge, which meant driving 4 kilometres down a nasty corrugated road. There is a short 150 metre path down to the lookout, which has steps here, but it's fairly easy going, so it should be accessible by almost anyone. And the views from this lookout already look incredible. The lookout itself was actually closed off due to recent rainfall making the substructure unstable. So we had to do our filming from next to the platform. We then walked down into the gorge. This was quite the loose, steep climb. We often used handholds, and there were even a few times I went down on my butt. This hike is graded as challenging at grade 5, which is the hardest grade, and it's simply because it's very steep and very loose. There's a lot of this really shaly rock underfoot, and it's quite slow going. We have made it to the bottom of the gorge. We're walking along the water now and the views here are just incredible.
Blows your mind away. I just about stood on this guy. In fact, I think I did. I just stood on him.
Oh, Nigel!
Sorry, mate. Here's you go. It is like that. Every turn, more spectacular. Just majestical. Gratitude moment, isn't it? That's just otherworldly. Would you look at that? Wow. You're kidding me.
We made it to the end of the trail where there was the perfect waterhole for a swim. But the water was freezing.
Sue's about to get brave.
So we've had a beautiful swim here at the end of Knox Gorge. It's just incredible. The water was a bit chilly, but yeah, it's just beautiful. So we're making our way back now the same way that we came. And now we go up. And up and up and up and up.
It shows how steep it is when you're looking straight down. It's pretty hard going in this 30 odd degree heat as we mountain goat it. Can't even speak properly, I'm that exhausted. Anyway, coffee is calling.
The road to Hancock and Hamersley Gorges is 14 kilometres of some of the worst corrugations we've ever driven on. We saw many two-wheel drive vans at all the places we went to. The reality is, though, that the park roads are really poorly maintained and very corrugated, at least late in the season when we went. Time has come to let the tyres down. This road is extremely corrugated. This gives you a bit of an idea what it's like. Nasty.
Oh, these corrugations are similar to what we had in Cape York. Just nasty. Like we've let the tyres down, as Sue just said, but it's going to have a pretty minor effect. But we'll see how we go. It'll be better, but they're literally like craters.
Alrighty, so we've driven down the most horrible road and now we are going to take a walk down to Hancock Gorge and the Kermit Pool. We're also going to have a look at Ox's Lookout.
Yeah, that was awful. It was only like, what, 13k?
It took us about an hour.
But took us an hour to do 13k. Yeah, it was pretty evil for this van. Yeah, it's an ongoing thing, just not set up for the corrugations really.
Mm-hmm. So this one's Weeno Gorge, which we don't think we're going to go down into that gorge unless we really rush, but we don't want to rush, we want to enjoy. So rather than that, we're just going to go to the lookouts. Where are the lookouts? Up here, the lookouts, and then we'll come back and we're going to go down into this gorge here. Hancock Gorge.
Hancock.
So this is the Oxer lookout. There's a whole bunch of gorges all meet here. Pretty incredible. Excuse me. You can see it down there. Another walk down rough, uneven steps and ladders took us down into the gorge. Where we again had to wade through and spider climb our way to the rock pool at the end.
That's pretty.
The first highlight of this gorge is the amphitheatre with its natural seating. A great place to sit and relax. We also loved climbing through the narrow passages and the natural water slide before we arrived at the main highlight, which is Kermit's Pool.
Wow, look at this place. Welcome to Kermit's Pool. Beautiful.
So we've made it to Kermit's Pool, which is a little hidden pool at the end of this gorge. Apparently this is as far as we can come. Sorry, there are some screeching kids close by. Nigel's already swum across. I'm about to go across now. Well friends, we're back from the gorges today. We saw two of the gorges here in Karijini. Now Nigel's cooking dinner. He's making dal and we have a bit of a disaster in that we have no rice.
Dal with no rice, kind of doesn't really fit, does it?
No. Oh well. Such is life.
Got bread.
Dal with bread?
Bread.
Dal on bread will work.
It'll work.
That'll work. We're going into town tomorrow to do some grocery shopping. Today we've come to Hamersley Gorge, so this is the last of the gorges that we will be visiting. There are a couple that we've missed out on or chosen to miss out on due to the condition of the roads. The roads are pretty bad once you're in the park, so we've just stopped here at the little welcome rest stop. There's a toilet here and a Wi-Fi hotspot, although the Wi-Fi is limited. I think it's about 150 megabytes a day, so not very much at all. We spent a couple of days hanging out at Hamersley Gorge, as there's a great free camp close by and it's just a short walk from the car park down to the waterhole. There's an easy swim down the gorge with a couple of resting places, including a cave and a rock in the middle of the stream.
Laugh it up.
Somehow I've convinced Nigel.
You don't know how this.
Somehow I've convinced Nigel to wear the bike helmet with the GoPro on into the waterfall.
But
Just be careful, you're going to hit the camera on the roof.
Oh, I better not do that.
When we were going down the gorge this morning, Nigel had it on the chest, and I'm like, no mate, you need it on your head. We don't have a head mount, so jokingly I said put the bike helmet on, and God love him. Anything for the shot, right? Do you agree? I haven't been able to convince him to wear the helmet all the way down.
Come on, get out of here. No, I'm not wearing it down the beach.
Eventually he put the helmet on for the rock scramble to the spa pool. And while he certainly got some weird looks, everyone agreed it was an ingenious way to film, especially when we realised the helmet would float so we could take selfies under the waterfall. The highlight of Hamersley Gorge is definitely the spa pool. This is reached by a scramble over the rocks, a climb up a ladder, and a swim across a pool. Then you need to navigate a very slippery exit.
This is Sue trying to get up.
So slippery.
There you go, you're on it.
Before jumping into your own private spa pool. We visited this pool several times throughout the day and never managed to find a time when it was fully sunlit, but it was marvellous swimming there regardless.
The cool thing is, there's nobody here today. It's so wicked. And we can go up there, up over the top. There's another pool on the other side.
Usually we're the only ones in here.
There you go.
You just stopped the waterfall.
Yep.
So while we have been in Karijini, we've stayed at 3 different camp spots. The first was Dale's campsite, which is the official national park campsite located near Fortescue Falls, $11 per person per night. There is also the Karijini Eco Retreat. We didn't actually stay there, but there are a couple of free camps which are just outside the border of the national park. Really convenient. So if you're in a self-contained van, you might want to consider staying at either the Mount Bruce free camp or this one where we're at tonight, which is called Buddha's Rest. And the Mount Bruce one is close obviously to Mount Bruce, but also to the road that goes up to Joffre and Knox Gorges and to Weno and Hancock Gorges. The other gorge, which is out here on its own a little bit, is Hamersley Gorge. We've spent the day there today, and this free camp is just outside of the park. It's only about 3 kilometres, 2 kilometres away from Hamersley, so it's great. It's huge, it's really big, heaps of space. I don't know if you can see. There's a car up there with a boat on it. That's our closest neighbour. Heaps of space here. No facilities, so you do need to be self-contained. There is a large rubbish bin though, so if you need to dump some rubbish, because you can't do that in the national park. Both of these free camps have Telstra internet, and phone reception, which is great because there is no Telstra at Dale's campsite. Apparently there's Optus there. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Join us next time when we visit more of Karijini National Park, and this time we tackle the mighty Mount Bruce climb. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.